getting close to being done for the year. Got one more tanker load coming, and then we'll be done. Having some problems with my pressure, so I think I got a cog strainer. I got to clean it out here in a minute once we get done pumping in. Chad, maybe 50 gallons, if that. Go slower. All right, that's good. My pressure's going outrageous. It usually runs about 30, but it was running up about 60, and I was having a hard time keeping my rate. Well, we took the strainer out because we were running so many gallons, but I was wondering if there was just some gunk, because this stuff gets kind of slimy.
I've got a gut feeling this is going to be a good year. The farmer is the eternal optimist.
We farm together as a family. If we all put our heads together, I don't know what we couldn't achieve.
Hopefully we hit 90 bushel. I think we could do it. Just have healthy plants and a good return on investment.
One of the worst things about farming is making a decision on planting depth. A quarter of an inch on your depth, sometimes you won't get a stand.
As you can see, my pinky ring's empty, so obviously I didn't win. With this class of guys that's in Podfathers, I mean, anyone could win.
Welcome back, Season 2 of the Podfather. I'm Temple Rhodes from Chestnut Manor Farms. Farm here with my family. We're excited this year. I don't want to be in second again. I've had enough of that. But anyway, we're going to try a bunch of new stuff this year. I got a couple guys helping out. Maybe they can grow some better beans. We're doing a bunch of different stuff this year. Right now, today, we're planting corn. We've already planted a bunch of beans early on. We started planting soybeans around the 4th of April. They sat in the ground for over 3 weeks before they popped their head up. They're up now. And then we flipped over, started planting corn. Looks like maybe 3-4 more days. We got a big test plot that we got to put in. And then as soon as we get the test plot in, we're going to be done. We're going to switch the planters back over to beans and go back and try to finish up. Let me grab this from my nephew. Hello. Today, we're in Centerville, Maryland. We were on the move a little while ago. We finished one farm, it's 500 acres of corn there. We went on the move, went down the highway. We're at my nephew's house now. We're on his ground right now. My son, Temple's here. He's running the field cultivator with his Corey Atlee Challenger tractor, you know. I'm gonna paint on the side of it little Corey for him. He's in it, and then my father, he's got a turbo till with a packer behind it. It's just kind of leveling out the ground. My father enjoys it because he likes to see dirt. I mean, wants to work all the ground up, smooth it out, make it perfect, and then we're gonna re-ditch it, you know, our surface ditches that we have. We'll put new V-ditches in there, re-ditch it, smooth everything out, and then we'll prepare for, you know, no-till in the future. When these crops come out, we need a smooth bed to go back in because we're going to take corn out, we'll put wheat back in, and wheat's a big deal for us because we bale straw. Got 3 sons total. Alexander, you'll see him on the show. He's lives and breathes farming. That's all he wants to do. Matt Miles is his idol, like his all-time idol. So we were riding down the road the other day, and they were talking about Podfather. And we were talking back and forth, and I said, who's your favorite guy? And little Temple was like, Corey Atlee. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, Corey Atlee. And Alexander, without fail, he was like, by far, Matt Miles. I'm like, well, why can't I be like your all's favorite? Like I am your father. Right now, I guess my wife, she's running Alexander all over the place, trying to get the rest of the tool trucks here, the seed wagon, all that stuff. So she runs us all over the place, here, there, and everywhere, when she's not doing her real job, which is, she really spends a lot of time with us in the field, making dinners, all that stuff. My mother is 82 years old and still packs us lunch every day. How about that? For the whole crew. So it's something that I actually tried to take it away from Mom. And she told me to leave her alone. She enjoys doing it, so leave her alone. So the whole family is actually involved, everybody. So it works really well. I am the 9th generation farmer. My sons and Chris, my nephew, that farms with us, they would be the 10th generation. So I mean, we don't want to screw that up, you know. We want to keep working as a family together, you know. It means a lot to us. Anyway, that's kind of the story on us. My dad's still farming every day, still gets up early every day. Yesterday, he beat me to the field. He got there at 2:30 in the morning. I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, I was trying to get ahead of the planter. You were catching up. I'm like, Dad, you don't have to show up at 2:30 in the morning. He's like, couldn't sleep anyway. Anyway, that's why we're expanding, and my sons want to come in and they want to farm, and I can't wait to hand it over. So my Alexander, he got his first farm last year. This is his first cropping year. We had a deal. I needed him to hurry up and get done college and get his head in the game, and I gave him a farm that just got presented to me. It's a couple 100 acres. Told him that he makes all the decisions on it. We'll do exactly what he wants us to do. If he has any questions, he has me. I gave him all the numbers of all the people that are my contact people, my go-to people for certain things. And he has a good relationship with all those people. Again, you know, you need to create those people in your inner circle that really help. Alexander, he can't wait. He either wants to go down and see Matt Miles or get Matt to come see him. And Temple just wants to go out west. He wants to see all the AGCO and the Challenger stuff that Corey has. So that's their idols. It's funny, which I'm glad. They need to look up to somebody, you know, and both of those guys are the kind of people that if either one of my sons, if they were farming and I was doing something and they said, hey, give me Matt or give me Corey's number, Corey and Matt would pick up the phone and they talk to them and they would give them the information that they needed. I've called Corey and Matt both multiple times, and I tell you, you can't get any more salt of the earth people than, you know, all the guys really on Podfather. As a group, if we all put our heads together, I don't know what we couldn't achieve. Like, these guys are intelligent, like crazy good. You know, remember I told you I don't ever want to be the smartest guy in the room, and I usually don't have problems with that. But, you know, if you surround yourself with really smart, intelligent people, it makes you a better success at whatever you try to do in life. And that's kind of the idea of the Podfather, you know. You want to surround yourself with these guys, and these guys are, I mean, don't get me wrong, they're fierce. They're not playing. These guys are gunning for the top, and I'm happy. That's awesome. I'll be glad to lose to one of them because they are unbelievable farmers. You know, one of my famous lines is you know, don't ever be tradition bound. Dad was bound by what his father did. His father was bound by what his father did, so on and so forth. And I think that that's part of the biggest problem with, you know, with farming. That, you know, you don't change anything because you become so complacent. You know, I'm growing good yields. Things are doing very well. Everybody wants to blame the hybrid. But once you get into that complacent place in your life, you know, you just don't, you're not ready to make a change and make a step backward. Every field that I go in is a test trial of some sort, whether it's a variety. I don't ever plant, and both planters that are running, there's 4 different types of seed that are in these planters right now. But when we harvest it, we have 4 hybrids to compare on that individual farm all the time. I really try hard to not become complacent. That's really tough. You know, you hit a yield goal on something, you're like, yup, that's exactly where I want it to be. That's where my average is. I'm going to, my whole agenda is just this. I don't ever do that. I get something in my head, I can't stop thinking about it until I do it. Whether it's some piece of equipment that I build or a new idea or whatever, I can't get rid of it until I try it. And I've failed a lot, but not for lack of trying. It's striving for the next goal all the time, every day.
My name is Temple Sydney Rhodes. Today we are at one of my cousin's farms, Chris Rhodes. We are using this 42-foot cultivator to rip up the ground behind our turbo till, freshen up the soil a little bit. My favorite Podfather is actually Corey Atlee. The tractor we're driving right now is actually a Challenger MT 765D. It's almost the same tractor that Corey Atlee drives whenever he's planting corn, but just a little newer. He just sounds like a really cool dude, and his machinery is also very, very cool. Everything, all the things that he runs. I like his big tractors and Challengers and stuff. I'm going to study agriculture in college, or high school and college, and I just want to become a farmer just like my dad. We had a lot of rainfall this year, so a lot of the ditches and everything around here are washed out, and we're getting very, very bad. And that's also one of the reasons why we got this cultivator behind us for. We got this to fill in a lot of those ditches and holes everywhere, and to give a new fresh seed bed, since we haven't really tilled much of our ground in many, many years. It sounds like the wheat harvest is probably going to be pretty good. I don't know about the corn or soybeans yet. It's too early to tell. All right, so I gotta get back to cultivating, so you guys can get on out of here and go find something else to do.
Ran the Copperhead Furrow Cruiser this year. Been very good, very happy with it. A lot more aggressive on the closing. We got so many different soil types. That's what I like about the Furrow Cruiser. It works in all of them well. And this is 2 seasons ran on this, and you can see virtual no wear at all. Just a simple addition to the planter for better closing.
Doing a lot of different trials, and one of them is Concept Agritech. We're doing a in-furrow starter trial. We've got Carbo Start, another one of their products.
Sweet Success is their sugar product.
Throughout the season, we are also going to be using some of their foliar products, thinking that the payback will be bigger. The thing I'm the most excited to try is a bunch of bugs. It's a biological. We're excited to see how they work out.
It's Friday, May 14th. Running the strip till machine, Soil Warrior. We're just about done with beans, and we're just starting corn. It's been really cold here and wet. We haven't had the weather to get it in, and we've had the past 5 days, we've had some good weather. We've been working hard, long hours, trying to get everything sprayed and in the ground, and start planting corn tomorrow. Yeah, we're close to, on average, when we usually plant now. I'm kind of glad I didn't get in a little early, because we had some pretty damp soils and cold weather. I'm just glad we don't have anything in the ground, any corn in the ground yet. The problem is it's messing my rate up. See, my target's 110, and what it's actually. Hey Greg, it's Grant in West Virginia. How are you? I'm having a hard time. I've never had this problem. Everything was running fine, and it just started doing this. I'm having a hard time keeping my rate, and my pressure is 60, and everything worked great. Now something's going on.
Oh, you got dirty filters in that.
I'll take that strainer piece out. Maybe it's got a bunch of junk in it.
Yeah, try that strainer. Close your research valve down just start closing down slowly. Don't go all the way.
Okay.
Get that all up and help relieve your pressure.
Okay, I'll give that a try. I'm having problems here with this tractor. I don't know. Something just happened. I lost everything. Blew a fuse. Hey, do you have any 10 amp fuses, little fuses? I need a micro mini. I need the small one. Oh my, always something. What the heck? I got to get out and check this rate. It's not right. Hey, bring my truck up. We got to take that strainer housing off or something. Something's clogging me up. That one. I know, I think that's the problem. I think I've got a clog somewhere or something. I'm not getting right at all. Well, we've been running into some high pressure and we can't figure out what's causing it. And we checked the nozzles and Chad just got covered. 2 of them were clogged and had pressure on them. And we're getting some fuel now and hopefully what we did just fixed the problem. I'm not counting on it, but I hope. Changed a couple settings in the screen, but we never had this problem. Chad jinxed me. He said we never had a problem with it. Now I got problems. It's looking good. It was a lot of grass and heavy residue and tried to bust some of it up, tried to smooth it up a little bit. And we're stuck with all these grass clods, but soil water seems to be breaking through some of them all right and pushing some of the trash out of the way. It's a challenge like everything. Just trying to get done. I got another load coming here in a few minutes, well, an hour and a half probably. So I'm trying to get this thing going back and running because he's not gonna have anywhere to dump his load, so it's always something. Mark's back there planting them. He's got 1 field left and he'll be done. We also blew a fuse in the rate controller, so we lost all of our mapping and everything, so that was another problem. We had to rob a fuse out of my truck. And now we're waiting for fuel. Let's go check it.
We want the bottom canopy to be healthy with a good fungicide. We use Revitec on it. It's really going to help that bean finish off strong.
But on our farm, we got to average a 6 bushel better with the Revitec fungicide than any other fungicide.
Probably absent of disease just because we've got the Revitec out here, but just mainly for the plant health.
The one thing that is a must, that's this product right here. Reducing stress adds bushels.
Ran the Copperhead Pearl Cruiser this year. Been very good, very happy with it. A lot more aggressive on the closing. We got so many different soil types. That's what I like about the Furrow Cruiser. It works in all of them well. And this is 2 seasons ran on this, and you can see virtual no wear at all. Just a simple addition to the planter for better closing.
My name is Alexander Evans. So we're out here at the Callahan farm. It's one of our biggest blocks, one of our bigger blocks that we have in one piece. So what we're doing today is we're spraying. We're putting on 32% nitrogen over corn that we planted the past 2 days. Putting in some insecticide, lamb cap, some herbicide, Roundup, atrazine, and Corvus. So when I really started getting into farming, first thing I ever did was actually, of course I learned how to cut grass. That's the first thing I ever did. I was probably 6 or 7. And then it went from the grain cart, and at that time my grandfather had his Angus cattle, so next leads the next, and I was running silage wagons, which was actually the second thing that I learned how to do while driving the tractor. I can't get enough of it, and I know Dad said this before, but I mean, working with your family every day, that's not work. It's doing something you love, with the people you love. I finished 4 years of high school at Queen Anne's County High School, right here in Centerville, and then I'm going to school now at UMD, University of Maryland. I'm studying at the IAA, so it's a 2-year program. I'm hoping to finish with ag business. Yeah, so right now I just ran out, actually, so now we're getting ready to fill her back up again. Let's get to it. We just hooked up the line, which brings the solution into the tank. So now we're getting ready to start her up and let her go. Let's see if that works. Nope. I love pumps. All right, third time's the charm. See if she comes on. Nothing. God darn it. On these pumps, there's little alligator clips which run the pump. There's a hot in the ground like everything else. Sometimes they don't want to work as they should.
Oh, there we go.
Is it on? It's on now? All right. High-tech stuff right here. Look, it reads your gallons and everything. And then we put 16 and a quarter gallons of atrazine and Roundup in there. So this one's good. Now I'm waiting on my atrazine. It's almost there. So I got my Roundup in there, my atrazine, my Corvus, and then now all that's left is, I think I got, yeah, there it is our insecticide. I'm gonna go speed the motor up and then we'll suck this out and we'll be ready to go. Something's not working right now. Of course we're having problems. We ran out of gas, filter stopped up. It's gotta be on film day, doesn't it? I mean, come on. There she goes. Now we just sit and wait. Yeah, so my last name's different. Obviously it's not Rhodes, it's Evans. So my parents got divorced when I was, I don't know, I was probably 2 or 3. Ever since then, it's been Mom and Temple, and then my real father, John Evans, and Paige, which is my stepmom. I really got in farming, shoot, I was probably 6, 7, 8. I always used to ride in the combine with Papa, with Dad, everybody. Ever since the first day I stepped foot on the farm, I couldn't get enough. Yeah, so yeah, it's definitely been a big year for me. I got my first farm. I got 180 acres down in Easton. It's actually right next to our other farm, so it's not a pain or anything to go to. It's right there next to the other ones. Yeah, so this year I knifed anhydrous NH3 on it, and then I planted corn behind it. So that was what, last week? So it should be down there growing pretty good. I do have big hopes for it. I really hope it turns out. First year, I hope it goes good. Yeah, so yeah, we have big hopes. Me and T, hopefully one day we'll take it over. I don't think Temple's ready to give up. He's not quitting anytime soon. but yeah, that definitely is hope for the future. Is me and T, and we'll be farming this one day by ourselves. Yeah. We're ahead of schedule. We started the 7th. So I mean that's definitely a little early for us. But I mean we're getting through it. I mean stuff looks good. We're getting going. I really like watching the Podfather TV show. You learn a lot. I mean, and it's cool to see farmers all across the country and the ways that they do something, because you know everybody's different. I mean, nobody does the same exact ways as somebody else, and it's cool to see how they do things and how this guy over here does things, and how we all come together as one thing. We're trying to feed the world. So you know, it's really awesome. It really is. I like all of them. They are a really good group of guys, just based off videos and stuff like that. Matt Miles is definitely one of my top ones as well. Really, I mean, I can't single out anybody. I mean, I like them all. I love watching the videos. I watch your live videos and everything like that. Yeah, so thank you guys for coming out. I'm sure you got places to be, and I do too, so I'm gonna get back to spraying. I'll see y'all.
So I'm Caroline Rhodes, and today we're at our home farm. So this is where we live. This is really the base of our operation. So every night we take, fix dinner and take it out to the field. So normally we're not eating at our house. We're normally eating out wherever they're harvesting. And there's Temple calling to find out where I am. But of course tonight, since you're here, they're all finished. So we are going to eat at the hunting lodge. So normally this is the spread. I try to do some vegetables, I do protein, dessert. I think they know that it's a little unusual to get our food delivered to the field, so there's not a lot of complaints that happen. So we made the decision years ago that we wanted to really have everything together because he wasn't getting to see the kids as much. So we made the decision to put a workshop here and everything in this, this location so that in the wintertime when he's working on equipment, the kids, we can walk down and we can be a part of it. It is a work in progress. We still have other things that we want to do and it's taken a lot of time. I want more grass and he wants more field and more gravel. But certainly when it comes to things like the barns and the technology and with the cattle and the sheep, they're raised in a really humane environment and they get a lot of love and attention. So you want to go see Blueberry and Madeline? Awesome. They are wandering around over here.
My name is Madeline Rhodes. I show cattle and sheep, and this was the second heifer I've had, and she's the nicest one ever. Hey, Bill. Blueberry.
Hi, my
Well, now
mom.
she's a cow, but heifers are when they haven't had a calf. Cows are when they've had one calf or more. Steers are neutered, and then bulls, they're still intact.
She's got a lot of personality. She's funny. She is sassy. She's sassy, but she's sweet.
And
she's like perfect. Yes. She's a little husky. She's always been a little husky, right? Which was why her name was so perfect. Even as a little heifer, she was plump.
As plump as a blueberry.
It's like she's walking on heels.
It'll get fixed. She does.
Doesn't she look like she's walking on? She has stilettos. What are you doing, big girl? Blueberry is just roaming free right now in the yard with her halter on, which is awesome. They get to a point where they're tame and we want them to build such a strong relationship, which is an everyday type of a thing, so that when you get months down the road, if you drop a halter, they're not running for the highway. Blueberry is one of those unique cases that it's just awesome. And she is sassy. I mean, she wasn't like the perfect animal. She'd give you a little bit, but she'd never hurt you. She was, she's always fun.
We spent a lot of time today moving down the road. We were on one big farm, then we moved to my nephew's farm. So we ended up being able to quit early tonight, come home, have dinner with the whole family and with the whole crew, which was awesome. But last year, we couldn't get away from the rain. And then finally it dried up. And we started planting. We only ran one planter last year in corn. We ended up starting a tractor at the end of April, 1st of May. And we never turned the key off from the time that we started till the time that we were done. We ran 24 hours a day. Well, it took us just about 11 days to finish. So we ran hard last year, and that was exhausting. It was terrible. But this year we ran 2 planters, which it was a big help. It took a lot of stress off, and so we got done a little quicker. We don't really know, we don't really understand soybeans like we understand corn. We understand corn, and we haven't figured all that out either, but you understand corn a lot better than you understand soybeans, and it has to be treated so very differently. And I guess there is nothing that's normal with beans. I used to be, everybody's like, oh yeah, you just put potash on beans and you're good. You set them there, and everybody treated them like they were like the redheaded stepchild, and they're not. They can be incredible if treated right. But we're learning, and it's a learning process. There's a couple of young guys out here now that we're starting to mentor a little bit. They've asked me for help, and I don't sell retail products. I don't sell anything. I don't sell a service. I don't sell a consulting firm. I don't sell any of that. But they asked me if I would help, and they're young men, and I agreed, and I'm gonna try to help those out. And I'd like to follow them all throughout the year, gave them a bunch of stuff that they can do because they don't understand beans either. But it's kind of neat to have, like, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Maybe I can teach these younger guys. Of course, I tease them, I call them bean babies. But maybe I could teach them a few things and mentor them and let them in on some of the things that I've learned over the years. I mean, and honestly, I've learned more mistakes than I have learned, you know, progression. So for every step that you take backwards, realistically for me, I don't think about it as a step backwards. I think about it as a couple steps forward, because I know, you know what not to do, and what, you know, you have to learn with everything, and with mistakes you learn a lot. Maybe someday this would change into something, and maybe I can do something different when, you know, my sons are, you know, they're taking over business, because I don't want to, I'm not saying I don't want to do this forever, because I'll never get away from it. But, you know, maybe once the farms and everything gets out of debt, and you get some of that debt load off of you, and I can let them go. And Alexander's back there spraying behind me right now, or out behind you guys right now. And it's cool to see that. You know, that they're taking that and they're advancing themselves. And maybe someday I can kind of, I don't know, I'll never get away from it, but maybe I could take a step back and I'd feel more comfortable with doing that. But anyway, those are the things that we've done this year, and that's where we're going. So it's going to be a fun year. We're going to see where.
Get an extra semi-load out of your grain bin. The End Zone from Farm Shop MFG allows you to play offense and rehydrate your soybeans from 10 to 13%. On a 20,000 bushel bin, that's an extra semi-load added to your bottom line. Or you can play defensively to protect your grain from hot spots and mold. The End Zone from Farm Shop MFG automates your grain bin's ventilation, allowing you to call the shots. Score big with the End Zone from Farm Shop MFG.
It's been a pretty smooth harvest, so knock on wood that we can keep everything rolling here. One of the bigger reasons this harvest has gone so much smoother is, you know, we got two Fendt T9s over there. They've just been pumping the grain. And we're actually producing more bushels than what we have in the past. You know, they don't lack for power, that's for sure. I've been very pleased with everything. We want the bottom canopy to be healthy with a good fungicide. We use Revitec on it. It's really going to help that bean finish off strong.
But on our farm, we got to average a 6 bushel better with the Revitec fungicide than any other fungicide.
Probably absent of disease just because we've got the Revitec out here, but just mainly for the plant health.
The one thing that is a must, that's this product right here. Reducing stress adds bushels.
Better. That's her. We got it. So it looks like we've got the problem resolved. I took the hoses off up at the front at the manifold, flushed them out, and Chad cleaned the nozzle tips and the orifices, and 2 of them were clogged pretty bad. And now our rate's back to where it needs to be, and we're good to go. Got a planter coming tomorrow. I gotta start planting up at our Pennsylvania farm tomorrow. We'll start planting corn up there. Hopefully get done by Monday and come back down here, and then possibly have to go back up there. I'm not sure yet. It looked like the rain was gonna come Monday or Sunday, I don't know. So that could be a problem too. Yeah, these mountains, they can make a storm change in an instant. Like Chad said, he went and picked a lunch up there in Cumberland, 5 miles from here, and he said it was pouring the rain down. So I started farming, started 2012, but really started 2013. It's always what I've done, it's what I enjoy. And you do sometimes, or most times, you do something different every day. There's a lot of challenges, and it's interesting. It can be very stressful trying to manage everything, especially with the weather. Just trying to do the best we can, trying to get everything in the ground, and try to grow a little bit each year, and try to be a better steward of the land. Hopefully we hit 90 bushel. I think we could do it, depending on the weather. That's the biggest problem we have, especially with sunlight and everything with the mountains and the shading. causes a big problem for us. Just have healthy plants and a good return on investment. I'd say our most limiting factor is probably the weather and timing, trying to get everything in at a good time, trying to get everything sprayed. You know, we don't have much help. Our places are kind of spread out a little bit. Our Pennsylvania farm's 55 miles away, so that takes a little bit to get to. But yeah, weather, I'd say, is our biggest challenge. We get it better each year. You know, that's our goal. And so, I mean, we've been doing that. Temple's trying to help me out on CECs and bean yields and trying to be more efficient with them and trying to push them a little harder than what we have before. So I'm interested to see, you know, how that's going to go. I think we'll do pretty well. It's been nice having you guys here at the farm today. I got to get back to work, so you guys better scramble. Thank you.